Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter-Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
A truly sad story from the CBS Radio Workshop. May 12, 1957, a look at a future we hope will never be. This episode is entitled The Long Way Home.
Pick 'em up, you critters. Pick 'em up. Horses pulling tanks and trucks.
Johnny, you have a cigarette for me?
It's one of those Canadians is all.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Me too, Johnny.
Sure.
What this town we come to, Sargento?
I don't know for sure, Domingo. Newark, New Jersey, if I remember my geography.
Newark, New Jersey.
I never hear of such a place.
Well, it's just south of where New York used to be. Pretty big town. Or used to be.
The CBS Radio Workshop, dedicated to man's imagination, the theater of the mind. Today, The Long Way Home, a glimpse of a future we trust will never happen. A story of the fate of men to whom it is given to do what they have to do, with or without understanding, but with patience, goodwill, and a sense of comradeship.
Hi, Ruski. You know, that was a German song when I was fighting in North Africa 30 years ago.
Every army take it over. Like every army take up song in every war. Let me play you other one from First World War. I think we learned this from Avstrici, but many soldiers still sing it in Spanish War. I know. My father was airplane mechanic there.
Say, I hear that. My old man, he served in the United States Army in 1917. He was Cubano like me, of course, but he want to fight Alemans.
Germanskis, everybody want to fight them. Let me play you a song from Second Big War. This one is Russian. I think you all know.
Oh, sure. I heard that one when I was a real little kid.
Yeah, Shiv, old boy, you come and look after this stew and let me borrow that lip organ for a minute. I'll give you a really spirited old army tune.
Right, sir.
This one practically took the world, as our armies haven't been doing for some time now, I'm afraid.
We know that.
Oh, everybody do. No, I also. From my papushka, he fight in First War also.
Tits, hop!
There goes that stew. First stop meal I might have had in 3 days.
Ничего. His army, товарищ. Always the same.
The mayor of Newark to see the general. Sergeant of squad next to headquarters. Cut.
Guess he means you, Johnny.
Sergeant Johnson, 1st Squad, 1st Platoon, 2070 Infantry reporting, sir.
Report to General Clarkson that Mayor Collins is calling with technical experts.
Yes, sir.
All others, as you were.
Good. I play music for Mayor to go to terrible fate.
What fate?
We talk with Big General. What color eyes Mayor have?
How I know?
Never mind. Maybe dark.
Look here, Mr. Mayor. We know you have your problems, but we have worse ones. We have reliable information that an enemy force will attempt a landing somewhere around Cape May within 2 or 3 days. We've got to stop that.
Whose force, may I ask, General Clarkson?
How am I supposed to know by all the knobby knees in New Jersey? Our intelligence says it's probably General Wolf with his Germans.
Germans, General?
Or whatever he's got now. But even if they're outer Tibetans, I can tell you we're in for a rough time. And so will you and your people be, Mr. Mayor, if we can't stop them from landing.
I'm sorry, General, but I still don't see how we are involved. We are a community of civilians.
Well, let me tell you, Mr. Civilian, you have the good fortune to be the head of one of the few cities in the world that has at least some serviceable walls left. Now, I know Wolf. I've fought him before. And if Wolf makes a landing here in New Jersey, you not only will have none of your walls left, but no people either. Mr. Mayor, we know that you've got gasoline stored underground somewhere around here, and we need gas.
You'll make it sound grim, General.
It will be grim, believe me.
Perhaps so, but what do you want me to do about it?
Lord knows we've got few enough tanks left, but even those we have are useless without gas. And if we can't get gas for our trucks to bring up the supplies that we have left, or those we can squeeze out of communities like yours, Mr. Mayor, why, man, we'd be just plain helpless.
Let me ask you one question, General.
Sure, fire away.
Whom are you fighting and why?
Whom? Why, anybody who's fighting us, of course. Anybody. Why? Well, I suppose I have to admit I don't really know too much about that part of it myself. But because I'm a soldier, I suppose. Because my government ordered me to.
But we have hardly any government left, General. When were you last in touch with anything one could call the government of the United States of America?
Well...
Exactly, General. But I tell you what I'll do. I'll turn one of our gas reservoirs over to you and let you do with it whatever you want. And I'll throw in a bonus on one condition.
That's too much, sir. Who are you to make conditions to the commanding officer of an army of your own government?
About the government, I wouldn't know, General. I haven't heard anything from them for a pretty long time. Concerning your army, I'm not so sure whether it should be considered an army of the United States or just General Clarkson's army.
No.
There have been I don't know how many dozens of armies like yours wandering around the world these last few years, clawing at each other and pushing each other back and forth across the earth.
Yeah. All right. What's your condition?
That you get your troops out tomorrow morning.
Well, that one I can accept. We have an appointment around Cape May anyway, if we can get your gasoline, that is.
Well, don't let the difference in our points of view mislead you, General. We naturally wish you the best of luck.
Thanks. You mentioned a bonus.
Yes, it's something your intelligence apparently missed. Just before this whole mess started, the government enlarged a few of the natural caves in the foothills west of here and stored some airplanes there. There are about 5 or 6 left.
Airplanes?
I don't know how modern you'd consider them.
Modern? Modern? Man, what does that matter when there hasn't been a factory on the face of the earth producing anything at all for years? I don't even know if I'd still recognize an airplane anymore.
Well, they're yours, together with the gas, if your army leaves in the morning.
Mr. Mayor, you got a deal. Now we'll at least have a chance against that wolf.
Hold it a minute, soldier. There's a couple of folks here.
Civilians.
Cool, they're wearing decent clothes, too.
What can I do for you, sir? And ma'am?
Mr. and Mrs. William Harrison Taylor, young man.
Sir?
I ain't no sir, ma'am. Just a sergeant.
Well, Sergeant, then.
Sergeants run army, lady. Never mind, sir.
Except General, maybe.
All right, shut up, you two. Yes, ma'am?
Well, you'll have to forgive an old lady's curiosity, but it's been so long since we've heard anything about what is going on. We would have liked to have brought something for you and your men.
Oh, there wouldn't have been any call for that, ma'am. The Army still takes pretty good care of us.
He means we take good care.
Don't mind them, ma'am. They're just road happy. Men get a little silly after marching a long time.
You mean marching too long, Sergeant?
I wouldn't know, sir. We go where we have to go.
But it's pretty far sometime, Johnny.
You talk. You come only from Cuba. Me, I come all the way from Korea.
So it's saying there's 8,000 miles of water between Melbourne and even the west coast of this blooming continent.
Madam, permit a man to speak among children. Me, I come from Omsk. From Omsk? That is in Siberia. It is half around the world.
Say, Sergeant, what kind of an army is this anyway? I thought it was American.
Oh, it is that, sir. General Clarkson's army.
But all those foreigners...
Well, sir, in a war like this, you can't take too much account of nationalities. Now, Ivan, the Ruski here, we picked him up in Alaska after that big fight we had up there. His own outfit was just about wiped out.
Well, he didn't have no place to go, so he joined up with us. And Sen here, he says he's a Korean. Seems he came over with that army that invaded California under General Yamento a couple of years ago. But he got lost in the hills. He had no way to get home. So he kept wandering around, and we picked him up when we got pushed back through Washington State by those Mohammedans of General Abdel Ali.
Me, I joined up with these chaps in Canada after my own brigade was wiped out. Where else would a man go these days?
Me, I believe in freedom.
And me, I reckon I just like fighting.
I have to repeat my question, young man. Is this supposed to be an American army?
Why, sure it is, sir. Our commanding officer is General Clarkson in that tent over there.
But, Sergeant...
Never mind, William. The government undoubtedly has its reasons.
Government? There is no government that I've heard from, at least. Not even about taxes.
Don't fuss now, William. Sergeant.
Yes, ma'am?
Do you happen to be free from duty tonight?
As far as I know, ma'am. Unless we get orders to move out.
Well, our apartment is below street level, and so we still have a fairly decent place to live in. That last rocket did shake the plaster off the ceiling. But it's warm and quite comfortable, and we have a little store of tea left over.
Tea? As a matter of fact, Mother, I even think there are a few bottles of beer. Home brew, of course.
Beer?
Cerveza?
What?
Beer, you dope people!
Zaman shuttle you! Great day!
We used to say we'd never know what weapons World War III would be fought with, but we know what World War IV will be fought with. Sticks and stones. From May 12th, 1957, the CBS Radio Workshop, The Long Way Home, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of The Long Way Home, an episode of the CBS Radio Workshop, May 12th, 1957.
Stow it, Rooski. Can't you stop playing that tinkle box even while you're breaking your legs in this rubble?
You don't like music when we go to party?
Yeah, but we're not going to Kentucky. You could be carrying a squirt gun over that shoulder.
I got two shoulders, Chief. One for gun, one for balalaika.
Kentucky, where it is?
Never mind, Carver. They ain't had a war there in 100 years.
Somebody sure beat up this town, though.
You say that after we go through Chicago, Detroit, Toledo? Oh, look the same.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Sen. Hold it, guys. I think this is the place. Oh. Why, miss, we were looking for Mr. and Mrs. Taylor. We were invited.
You're expected, too. Please come in.
Oh, thank you, miss. We didn't know.
Oh, look at our Fellsravel. He's found himself a little minka.
Oh, come on. Shut up with that.
And there I was, Mrs. Taylor, sitting in that bloody tree, with that bloody spear pinning me bloody thigh to the bloody trunk, and all in this so-called atomic age.
Is X, Tovarish?
X what, Ruski?
Ex-atomic, Tovarish. Is no more factories, no more atomics.
Gracias a Dios.
Might even live longer this way.
I wouldn't count on too much, Cove.
Why can't? We don't get pay anyway.
Oh, stash it, Roski.
That reminds me of a fellow I served with in the Second World War. Well, we had just landed on this island, but I guess he got himself lost or something, and the next thing you know, after we take this village, There he is, sitting on this throne with 4 bodyguards with spears and a piece of wine.
More tea, Sergeant?
Oh, thanks, miss. My name is John.
It's Johnny. Johnny Johns.
Mine is Martha. Martha Waycross.
Waycross?
I'm only taken over. Mother and Dad, Mr. and Mrs. Taylor, that is, they found me at the intersection of Broad Street and the highway to Red Bank after that first awful bombing. I was only about 7 then.
Your parents gone?
I really don't know. I'd forgotten my name from the shock or something. So when Mother and Dad registered me as their takeover, they put me down as Waycross. What are you looking so strange about?
I don't know. You make me think of something. Make me smell it, even.
Smell what?
I don't know. That's what I don't know. That's what I'm trying to remember.
Where do you come from, Sergeant?
Come from? Oh, South Dakota originally. Black Hills country.
And have you been home recently?
No, ma'am. Not since I joined up 7 years ago.
You haven't been back since?
Well, no. I figured this time when we got chased off the West Coast, I'd get a chance to stop by the farm, see what's left of my family, and the railway wasn't running, so they sent us across through Canada.
I don't know whether you're aware of it, children, but there's a beautiful full moon outside.
Children? Oh, I also am a child.
Would you like to go out and look at the moon, Martha?
Yes, Johnny.
How about another bottle of beer, gentlemen?
You are a gentleman, Mr. Tyler.
Beerball!
Johnny, what are you thinking about?
I just figured out what you reminded me of before.
Something nice, I hope.
Oh, yeah. Real nice. I don't know if I can say it right, but it had something to do with when I was a kid back home on the farm. It'd be the sun and the bright blue sky in the summer, the smell of the green grass and the wheat and the corn. My mother would be in the kitchen usually, cooking up something good. And always in the summer there'd be that warm breeze in my face and hair.
What's that?
Huh? That noise? Gosh, I hope it's the reinforcements we've been waiting for. General Bob Smith's outfit. I reckon we sure enough are moving out now.
The planes themselves are okay, sir. Our mechanics can't find a thing wrong with them.
So what is wrong?
I don't know, sir. They just don't handle right.
Will they fly at all?
After a fashion, sir.
Well, maybe that's enough of a margin. If Smith has some ammunition, that is. We'll need everything we can lay our hands on to stop that wolf.
Johnny, are you as lonesome for home as you sound?
Lonesome for home? Home, that's the Army, Martha. And lonesome, how could I be lonesome? I've been in this outfit since I was 14. Now, you're giving me an idea, though.
I hope this one is nice, too.
Heard it from a fella I went to school with. He went back home last year. He told me there are some folks that have moved into some of those caves in the hills, right near where I was raised. And they're collecting all kinds of things.
Sounds wonderful.
Seems there was a saint once in Italy or somewhere. Saint Benedict, I think. And he collected all the stuff he could find when they had a lot of wars over there, just to save the old inventions and ideas. Civilization, I guess. Well, those people back home are trying to do the same thing.
Johnny, are you thinking of going back to join them?
Oh, now, Martha, the man had himself a good woman. I don't owe the Army any time anymore.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, you delivered the planes, all right. And you turned over that gasoline to us, but the two just don't work together.
Huh?
The planes won't run on that gas the way they should, neither will our tanks and trucks.
I'm sorry, General, but that's not our fault. The stuff hasn't been touched since it was pumped into the reservoir 15 years ago.
15 years? That's no wonder.
What's the matter, General?
Do you know what evaporation and condensation in an underground tank can do to gasoline in 15 years? I only hope the stuff is good for one mission at least.
You did pass through New York on your way here.
Rather.
Say, what's it look like? We haven't heard from anyone who's been through there for years.
New York? Oh, kaput!
It's true, sir. There ain't anything left. We had to dig a road through the rubble for our tanks.
Tell me something, Mr.
Corporal Lee, ma'am. Originally of the 5th Australian Division.
Well, Corporal, you're not an American. Why are you here? Why do you fight?
Why, madam, do women have children?
Oh, but that's a woman's role in life.
Well, madam, maybe it's a man's role to fight.
Ha ha! Woman have it, baby. Men, they fight. Is man's life in army.
Well, all I can say, Bob, is I'm glad you got here. I have a hunch this wolf is going to be pretty tough to lick. He wouldn't risk a landing if he didn't think he was pretty well fixed.
Where do you think he'll hit us?
G2 says around Cape May. Makes sense, too. Well, you got here just in time, Bob. The mayor of this junk heap made me swear we'd move out in the morning.
What do you mean, made you?
Oh, heck, he had some gas stored underground from before the war. A few planes hidden in those caves, and so we made a deal.
May 12, 1957, CBS Radio Workshop on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of the CBS Radio Workshop production, The Long Way Home, a future we hope never arrives. May 12th, 1957.
Now, it turns out, of course, that the gas is full of water and the planes practically refuse to fly on it. Still, you know the old saw, beggars can't be choosers.
I'd have shot the so-and-so.
I thought of it. But how would I have found those supplies of his? What do you got left?
Not much. 5 tanks, M84s and 86s, about 20 6x6 trucks, a few rocket launchers, enough mortars and artillery for a couple of battalions. I've got about 15,000 men.
Just about a division.
Yeah, the way we used to think of it. Now it's an army.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you caught up with us anyway, Bob. I don't know whether even the two of us together will be able to stop that wolf. Still, I suppose we better get ready to push out. Sentry! Have them sound assembly. We're moving out in 2 hours.
Hey, what's that?
Hey, you guys, back to camp. Assembly sounded.
Well, Martha, I guess we're moving.
What about those black hills of yours?
Are we moving, Sarge?
Johnny, we go.
You think this is invasion?
Invasion who?
I don't know, you guys, but the bugle gave it on the double. I'm sorry, honey. I guess you see I just can't go home yet.
But you said...
Yeah, I know I did, but I couldn't leave my outfit now, not when the guys are heading for another battle. Might be a real bad one, too.
Johnny.
Don't you go worrying now. Martha, I'll feel a lot better just knowing you're alive. You know that, I reckon. But it just don't seem like there's much time left anymore to do the things people really want to do.
Come on, Sarge.
Adelante!
Here you! Contact! Got it, fast down! All right, fall in line there, both sides of the road. Shut up, you!
Guess you'll run for a while.
Come on now, you guys, dress it up. Holiday's over.
At least we got some planes on the side again.
Yes, if enough gasoline.
Gasoline? Oh, who needed gasoline? Got feet?
You like carry things?
Rather fight without tanks, Ruski?
Shut up, you guys. Here's the general.
Looks like two of them, rather.
Men of the Clarkson Army, once again, as so be often before, our opportunity has come. As you know, I never keep secrets from you. I tell you frankly, therefore, that this time we're up against the toughest and the smartest opponent many of you have ever faced. General Wolfe and his specialists. Our intelligence tells us that they're planning to land near Cape May tomorrow or the next day. But we have been reinforced by General Bob Smith and his army. So, with faith and confidence, and with the courage and skill which you have shown so often, I know that we will continue to keep this continent safe for our women.
Brother, this one's going to be rough, I'll wager.
When he talk like that, yes.
Frontage hut, right, haste, right step, forward, hard.
Johnny!
Hi, Sarge.
Yeah?
Johnny!
Oh, goodbye, Martha.
The Black Hills! St. Benedict!
Maybe I'll be back.
Maybe, Martha.
You've been listening to the CBS Radio Workshop and The Long Way Home, a glimpse of the future we hope will never confront us. Written by Henry E. Fritsch, music arranged by Alexander Steinert, produced and directed in New York by Paul Roberts. William Redfield was heard as Johnny, Danny Acco as Ivan, and Terry Keane as Martha. Others in the cast included Bob Dryden, Joseph Julian, Roger DeKoven, Nat Polan, Leon Janney, Guy Rep, Wendell Holmes, Jack Arthur, and Ruth Tobin. This is Ted Pearson inviting you to listen again next week when from Hollywood the CBS Radio Workshop presents Heaven in the Sky.
Oh, and that's a sad episode, too, Heaven in the Sky. And maybe we'll have that coming up soon here. May 12th, 1957, the CBS Radio Workshop on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
It's a big, bold story set in the heartland of America, along the edge of Lonely Mountain. I am open for business. And so Big William Gorgon, played by handsome Michael James, fiercely set down his Midwest roots.
Oh, darling, we're going to sell bathrobes and raise chickens.
Set his adoring wife, Wilhelmina, portrayed by beautiful Glenda Olsen.
Oh, I love our store, Will.
But they hadn't counted on Big Ralph's bathrobes and cattle store coming to town.
Oh, Will, what will we do, Will?
Will had a plan, a way of facing off against tough Big Ralph. We're going to change the face of America. We're going to advertise.
For what?
With print, broadcasting, and bus benches. We're going to tell people who we are and where we are.
What's a bus?
And so the story of how one man brought advertising to the heartland.
Oh, will it work?
It will. Well, my name ain't Will, Wilhelmina. You got to advertise or we'll die. And so the greatest marketing story of all time is here. Advertise or die, dopey.
Put your message on this national advertising platform. Email classicradiotheater@gmail.com. classicradiotheater@gmail.com. Now on Classic Radio Theater, let's go to Pine Ridge, Arkansas, see what's going on at the Jot 'em Down store with Lum-n-Abner. This episode of the program was originally broadcast on May 12th, 1953.
That's our ring time for Lum-n-Abner, brought to you by the makers of Alka-Seltzer. And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge.
Howdy, folks. This is Dick Huddleston. Well, sir, yesterday old Lum studied up a new way of expressing his love for the local schoolmarm, Miss Frederick. He inscribed, "To the one I love," from Lum on a locket and baked it in the loaf of bread, which he aimed on delivering to her later. But somehow the loaf got mixed up with all the other loaves, and Lum doesn't know who got the locket. He's pretty upset as he discusses the blunder with Abner.
Laughing stock. Laughing stock. That's what I'll be. The biggest laughing stock this town's ever saw.
Now, why will you be? All you done was put a locket in a loaf of bread.
Yeah, but I had to go put a picture in the locket. And then write on there, "To the one I love." And that's the worst one idea I ever did get. No telling who got that loaf of bread.
Oh, well, all you gotta do is just wait and see who got it, and then tell him it was a mistake that you meant to give the locket to Miss Frederick.
Oh, no, I ain't gonna tell him that. That's what would make me the laughing stock.
It would, huh?
All them fellers at the barber shop and every place else would get that half-witted grin on their faces and say, "How's Miss Frederick? How's Miss Frederick? How's Miss..." Granny, if they say that one more time, I'm going to whop them right on top of the head.
Lom, nobody ain't said that yet.
Yeah, that's right, ain't it? Well, they will, though, as soon as whoever got that loaf of bread finds the locket. Can't understand why nobody ain't found it yet.
Well, maybe they ain't had nerve enough to eat the bread yet.
What do you mean, nerve enough? That was good.
Oh, yeah, it was good, all right, but some of that other stuff you've been baking up around... wait a minute, I believe that was our rain.
Oh, I bet that's it. Somebody found the locket. You better answer it, Dad.
Yeah, all right. Hello, Jot 'em Down store, library, and bakery. Abner Peabody doing the talking. Mom? Oh, yes, Miss Barton. What can we do for you? Spool of thread? Yes, Mom. What color? All right. Anything else? Why, sure, we'll deliver it.
Deliver it?
Yes, Mom.
Since we got that bakery truck, they want us to deliver every little bitty thing.
Yeah, all right, Miss Barton. Say, have you ate that bread that Cedric delivered yet? Well, did you find anything in it? You did?
Oh, I'll never be able to face her again.
Yeah, well, Lom will pick it up when he delivers the thread. All right, Miss Barton. Goodbye.
I ain't going out there. You're the one that's going to have to go and pick up that locket.
Locket? You never said nothing about the locket.
Well, what was she found in the bread then?
That spoon that you was using to mix the dough with.
Spoon?
Yeah, now maybe you believe I wasn't the one that lost it. Lom, you're going to have to be more careful mixing up that dough.
Slush and mush. Slush and mush.
What's the matter with you, Grandpap?
I never knowed Grandpap was here.
Oh, he been sitting over there reading all day.
Captain Haraway is in love with Marguerite.
Marguerite?
Says it right here, according to the almanac.
Who in the world is Marguerite?
I don't know. Listen to this. Captain Haraway drew Marguerite into his strong arms, and gazing down into her limpid blue eyes, he said softly, "I love you, Marguerite. I love you with a love so deep that mortal man..."
Hey, wait a minute, Grandpap. Let me see that book.
"Shall ne'er come twixt you and me. I love you."
No, Grandpap, you ain't got the almanac.
What's that?
You're reading Love Twixt Golden Strands. Look at the cover of the book there.
Well, I'll be dog. I thought the almanac was awful uninteresting today. And I think I'll just go ahead and finish this now that I've started it. "I love you too," answered Marguerite, lowering her eyelashes over her limpid...
Well, read it to yourself, Grandpap. Don't read out loud.
Tell him to keep quiet.
Keep quiet, Grandpap.
Here comes Cedric up out there. If he hears anybody reading a book, he'll want us to read him that story about Pinky Winky.
Oh, he loves it. Wants it read over and over. I know it by heart now.
Well, don't tell it.
Once upon a time, there was a pink-eyed cottontail rabbit.
Well, hello, Cedric.
Yeah, hello, Cedric.
You want to go with Lum on the delivers again this afternoon?
Oh, no, Mom. I just come over to get some of that bread you're selling with the prizes in it.
Prizes?
Yes, Mom. We got a loaf over to our place, but we've never got no prize in ours.
What are you talking about, Cedric?
Well, I was just down to the barber shop, and I heard Pack Rat Watts tell how he got one. Some kind of a locket thing he got.
Locket? Notice, Lum, did you hear that? Pack Rat Watts got it.
I heard it. Pack Rat Watts. Granny, he would be the one to get it. At the barber shop, did you say, Cedric? Yes, Mom. That's just like him, down there blabbing it to everybody. A laughing stock, that's what I am.
Oh, yeah, if he gets around the barber shop, you're bound to be Josh, Lum.
Well, how did I get one of them prizes? That's what I want to know.
There ain't no prizes, Cedric. That was just a mistake.
Well, Pack Rat got one. I heard him say he was coming up here to see you about it. I'd sure like to get a prize.
He's coming up here?
Dad blame it. He ain't satisfied with blabbing it all over the barber shop. He's got to come over here and make fun of me right to my face.
Oh, man.
How many loaves of bread do you have to buy to get a prize?
Cedric, there ain't no prizes. You better run along. Go over to Dick Huddleston. Maybe he's got some prizes.
He ain't got no prizes, Abner. Besides, I want Cedric to help me. Cedric, going back in the feed room, start opening up some flour. I got to start baking for tomorrow's delivery. Well, can I put the prizes in them, Mr. Lum?
There ain't gonna be no prizes, Cedric. Now get on back there.
Yes, Mom, I'm going.
Hurry up now.
Pack Rat Watts. The smart aleck, this little varmint in town, he's got to be the one that gets the locket. To the one I love from Lum. Stop laughing.
I can't help it, Mom. It's funny.
It is not. It's disgusting. And don't you dare laugh when Pack Rat gets here and starts making them smart remarks. Abner, if you don't stop laughing, I'm going to unsolved partnerships with you right here and now. Granny, no matter how much trouble I get in, I never get no sympathies around here.
Well, I won't laugh, Lum, honest.
See that you don't. One thing that little smart aleck wants to do is get people to laugh at somebody.
Well, why don't you just walk right up to him when he comes in and hit him?
Hit him?
Yeah.
That wouldn't do no good. Besides, he's pretty strong. Little, but stout. Of course, what I could do is get in the bakery truck and just start driving. Keep going till I'm 1,000 or 100 miles away from here. Might even go to Florida and deliver oranges and bananas.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Lum, there he comes.
Huh?
There comes Pack Rat heading right for the store here.
Wait a minute. Look at it. I can just tell by that look on his face he's studying up some smart remark. I'm getting out of here, Abner. I ain't going to face him. That's all there are to it. Get him out of here as fast as you can.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Where are you going, Lum?
I'm going back in the feed room with Cedric. Let me know when he's gone. How you getting along there, Cedric?
Oh, I got the flour open. What do you want me to do next, Mr. Lum?
Shut the door, Cedric. I don't want that sad-winged Pack Rat Watts to see.
Yes, Mom.
Now, stick your eye up again the crack in the wall and let me know when Pack Rat leaves the door. Is he inside yet?
Yes, Mom. He's talking to Mr. Abner. Kind of smiling. Now he's handing Mr. Abner a package.
A package?
Ain't a very big one.
That must be the locket. Thank goodness he bring it back. I don't know why he bothered to wrap it up, though. More than likely got something funny wrote on it, the little varmint. What's he doing now?
Well, just talking. I guess Pack Rat's fixing to leave now. Just slap Mr. Abner on the back. Yep, there he goes. He's going out the door now. He's went, Mr. Lum.
Well, good. Well, then let's get out there.
Don't you want to start mixing up the bread dough now?
Later, Cedric.
You can come out now, Lum. He's gone.
I know it. What'd you say, Abner? Did he get off a lot of smart remarks?
No. Just said he was a little surprised, but he was glad that things was turning out this way.
What did he mean by that?
Well, I don't know exactly. He asked me to give you this package.
Yeah, I know. It's the locket.
That's what I figured.
I'm glad he bring it back. I was feared he'd take it all over town, showing it to everybody, saying, look what lum-n-abner's giving. And everybody started gruff on.
Yeah, well, Pack Rat didn't get the locket so long. His sister Lulu did.
Lulu?
Yeah, you know Lulu. That big stout girl. Champion weightlifter of Polk County.
I know her all right.
Shot put, discus throw, hammer throw.
Abner, I know all about her. But are you sure she's the one that got the locket?
Well, that's what Pack Rat said.
Oh, goodness. Send it back. I hate to have to argue with her if she got the wrong idea about this.
Oh, yeah, she said.
You know, this is a pretty decent of her to send this back. She could have caused me a heap of trouble.
Why, of course she could.
Yes, sir, you got to admire a woman like that. A fine woman.
Well. And her brother ain't so bad neither when you come right down to it. He could have caused me a lot of trouble, like he general does. Actual, they're a pretty nice family, Abner.
Yeah, I reckon so.
They got their shortcomings, of course, but I'd say they're one of the finest families in Pine Ridge.
Yeah. Well, now that you got the locket back, you going to give it to Miss Fredericks like you planned? Bake it in another loaf of bread?
No, I shouldn't do that now. Everybody in town should... For goodness sakes, this ain't the locket.
It ain't? What is it?
I don't know. Looks like a medal of some kind.
Medal?
It says, Lulu Watts, first place, weightlifting contest. Women's Division, Arkansas State Fair, 1942.
Well, good for Lulu.
And here's a note in here.
No, what does it say?
Dear Lumpkin.
Lumpkin?
For pity's sake, thank you for the locket, and I feel the same way about you. Oh, me. Please accept this little token in return to make the engagement binding.
Engagement? Are you engaged to Lulu?
Wear it over your heart and think of your little Lulu. Oh, me, Abner, what am I going to do?
Well, Lum, it looks like you're going to marry into one of the finest families in Pine Ridge.
Oh, dear. From May 14th, 1953, Lum-n-Abner on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Now then, do we have a lady guest who would like to traipse up to our microphone and have a word or two with us? Somebody with an interesting story, who has an interesting occupation.
A lady innkeeper.
A lady who maybe has an unusual job that, for the sake of being a lady, would be a little bit different. Something that a gentleman would more or less. Do we have anybody like that?
I'm a lady innkeeper.
All right, ma'am. Fine.
I formerly was a lighthouse keeper.
Mm-hmm. And where are you, where's your inn?
In Vermont.
In Vermont. That's one of the most beautiful of the New England states. Don't you think so?
What?
I say, don't you think that's one of the most beautiful of the New England states?
Well, there's only 5 or 6. They're all pretty much... Once you've seen one, you've seen the other, as far as I can make out.
Do you run this inn on the old style, with
yes.
stables and
Pay right on the nose. What? You pay.
Well, of course you pay, but I mean, do you keep the old traditional inn atmosphere?
We try to. By that, I mean we don't have any central heating.
Oh.
And,
fireplaces, things like that, huh?
Not so much a fireplace, but we just have one little, like a hearth in the kitchen there, where the people, if they get chilly, can warm themselves.
Well, that would prove to be a little bit of a problem if you had a good many people staying at the inn, I should think. Now then, what is the background? What's your experience in this particular business? Have you run other inns?
Well, I have always thought that it would be nice someday to own a little inn of my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I shopped around and finally decided that the old Dutch cupboard inn up there in Vermont would be the place for me.
I wish you hadn't mentioned the name of the place, because that constitutes what we call in this business a plug.
Our commercial. And 500 and some odd stations, ma'am, I didn't get your name, but it could well run up into the $30 or $40.
Do you understand that, madam?
What?
He was just trying to explain to you the commercial structure of the program.
$30 or $40 for just saying the name of my inn.
That's right. And you said
I'll be a monkey's uncle.
You said it from coast to coast almost, and we'll have to see you after the program. You'll speak to Mr. Conway, our young squirt over there. He'll make out the bill.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's funny to invite you up for, talk to money.
A mean lady.
An episode of Bob and Ray here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you for tuning in. Please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. Also, if you miss a day on this station, you don't have to miss a single show. You can find our shows through iHeartRadio or Spotify or Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon, or Facebook by searching for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We have our Facebook link up at our webpage, which is classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. You can also stream our shows there and learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own. Thanks for joining us. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.